Hey everyone, I'm recording this from one of my Head Start programs. You can see I'm in an office. I got some kids' books off to the sides, and behind me are some classrooms. School's not up and running right now, so it's pretty quiet around here. I wanted to take a quick minute to talk to you a little bit about the Montessori approach. Many of you brought up in your reading reflections questions about Montessori, so I wanted to point you in a direction where you can get a little more information. I'm going to make myself small. And here you can see the American Montessori Society website. They have lots of great information. Under Montessori Education, if you go to Introduction to the Montessori Method, you can find here a video about Montessori, some hallmarks and more philosophies they have, information they have on their philosophy. And then on this, if you come back toward the top, on this left-hand side, they have Montessori videos where you can watch a bunch of videos about how Montessori is applied in different formats. So some questions we had about Montessori is, they say children can play with a material or work with a material as long as they want. What does that mean? Do they feel the need to share, or shouldn't children take turns? And with the Montessori philosophy, what they would say is that there is no reason to make children take turns or share. That children will naturally give up a material when they have moved past that stage. So for example, I have a 7-year-old and she doesn't play with like rattles anymore. She used to have lots of different kinds of rattles. She would have the stuffy kind that had the little ball inside that made a little noise, or little squeaky kinds. She was obsessed with those when she was like 6 months, right? As infants are, and they put them in their mouth and they get fascinated by them. They laugh at them. They think they're amazing. But she's 7 years old and she doesn't play with those anymore. Now, she might come across one every so often, especially because her mom is in early childhood education. She might use it for 30 seconds or go, oh, I remember when I had one of these. But she's going to move on from it really quickly because she's well beyond a stage where that material is interesting to her. So a little bit about the Montessori philosophy is that if a child is really super engaged with something and they're not ready to be done with it, we should not break up that engagement. But instead, we should give them as much space and time as they want. So if they want to skip lunch because they want to keep using it, or they want to bring it with them to the lunch table, or they want to go right back to it after lunch, or they want to use it during nap time, or again tomorrow, that you give that child that exposure as much as they want in that time. Because what they're saying is, I am learning something from this material. That is why I'm continuing to engage it. And I am ready to master what it is I'm trying to learn. And once that child has done that, they will then naturally progress and move on. So that's one of the things that makes Montessori environment sort of unique. I used this example with one of you earlier in answering your questions around turn taking and sharing. But what if other children want that material? Well, my go-to first and foremost when another child wants a particular material is, do we have the same thing somewhere else? Let's just get that and give it to the child. Does another classroom have it? Do we have another one in storage? There's no reason to withhold it just because we think there should only be one in the classroom. So the other explanation that I used with another student is, I was working at a coffee shop and I was sitting in a chair that I really like to sit in at this coffee shop. Has a great view. I can kind of watch people coming and going as I'm thinking about things when I stare off into space. And I had been there for quite a few hours. Now, if an adult had come up to me and said, you've been in that seat for a long time. I think it's time that you shared that seat. I need you to move so I can sit there. We would think they were crazy. That person has no more right to that chair than I do. And a lot of our philosophy is first come, first serve. So with adults, we understand this first come, first serve scenario. But often with children, we don't think of it that way. We think, oh, they have to be sharers. Oh, they have to take turns. And so we expect them to give up something that they naturally have right to in the moment for someone else. So just a little food for thought to think about as you move into next week's material, learning lots of great stuff along with you all. I love reading your reflections, your discussion posts. I'm getting so much out of this class. I hope you are too. And as always, if you have any questions, feedbacks, comments, concerns, broken links, you're having a meltdown and you need someone to talk to, you can always reach out to me. I am most reachable by email, but we can set up time to talk on the phone, to do a video chat, Skype, whatever. I love interactions with students, and I thank you for all your time and attention in our class.